Warriors Unite! Hello, my friends. How we doing, Warriors? This is Vigor Warriors 2. Just want to kind of say greetings, my friends. Greetings. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves, conquesting things around you under God's purposes. It is great to see you guys. I'm going to put this down so I got more sun here. It's great to see you guys. Hope you guys are conquesting yourselves, as I said. It's important. We're going to continue to kind of focus on different topics here. I'm going to talk about money in this one. And obviously, as we get to more self-control type issues as we go along, we'll kind of focus on these. But I got a bunch of these that we're still catching up with. We'll do some shout-outs first as we go along. I am getting closer now to getting another computer to be able to kind of do this more on a computer than a phone. We're also looking at then going to doing more mentoring, tutoring, things like that to help people, because I get a lot of questions and things on that, and I'll do that. So I will respond back to you guys on some of this. I just have to kind of put a plan together and look at what kind of time and spending and get some kind of organization with that. So I haven't done that yet. So once we do that, we'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Let's do some shout outs here real fast. Rasheed Michaels, thank you, my friend. Remington Tufflips, thank you. As always, Jay Hamilton, 1007, thank you. Oleg, as usual. Mucky D, thank you. Fonzo, 400. Tops Drop 1. Release, start a new day. Keep going. It's the story is really, you just got to keep going. And whether you release one day, you'll keep going ahead and, start again. It's a lifestyle change, so keep it going. Michael Moncrieffee, thank you, my friend. John, thank you. Sultan job. JK, latest news, 100 days. Keep it up. I'm not sure where you're at now, but congratulations. Keep it up. Davy NWK, thank you. Woundsnwonder, thank you. Masto the Kingdom, thank you. Giang, the Hermit, thank you. Ametalf, thank you, my friend. Jay Hamilton again. Proper Preparation 369, thank you. The Real Deal, thank you. Lykkos, old time, thank you. I appreciate that. Spiritus, thank you. Rene Garcia, 40 days, thank you. Abstuct, 3 years. Congratulations, my friend. Keep it up. And Carlos Jr., thank you as well. All right, so let's talk about money. I know I've had a couple people say, let's not talk about girls all the time, and that's fine. I can understand that. The reason I do talk about attraction is that a lot of people tend to focus on that a lot, and that's the biggest problem we have. And so this is one of the reasons why I started this channel a long time ago, to be able to kind of talk about getting away from the main idea of pornography and getting away from images and releasing. And so obviously the biggest thing with that is the attraction of women, and so you have to be able to deal with that. So, but obviously there's lots of other things involved here than really kind of the benefits of retention, a lot more than just going ahead and getting attraction, which you're going to get, because you have that, you're keeping all that energy inside. So obviously we talk about the fact that you have a lot more control, less anxiety, less the focus on other people's validation. The more you have on setting goals, creating your own kind of reality, and being stronger in that, and having confidence in that. So we talk about making money, and part of it is that I've had a lot of experiences making money, losing money. So part of what I have to say with this from my own experiences is the fact that retention will help you create a environment around you that you can succeed in making money. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's just go back, and I'll give you some examples of times when I was releasing, and I had a lot of anxiety, and I had a lot of fear, and I wasn't 100% like I am now, and I'm into 1,600 days or something like that. It's a change of attitude. We talked last time about the calmness you have and the ability you can go ahead and relax and not be as nervous, anxious for what's going to happen tomorrow in the future. You have a lot more faith. You have a lot more belief that things are going to turn out well, and obviously you have a lot of more belief in your creator. So how does this help you make more money? And money in itself, is the love of money is the root of all evil, not the money itself. The money is just a tool we use, and tools, if you look upon it as a being tool, it's going to come and go, and you're going to use it here, you're going to use it there, and using it to kind of help other people, helping your situation. And so as you're tithing, as you're doing things for other people, that's part of God's plan and purposes you have. Now, so as you're changing your lifestyle, you now become a lot more relaxed and calm. And you have a lot more confidence in yourself because you have everything you need inside of you, health-wise. Now, I'm 63, going on 64 in June, and I feel like I'm 25 years old. Now, whether I look like I'm 25 years old, that's always up to the beholder or people looking at me. I feel that way. And as a result of that, I feel like I can do anything and succeed. Now, can I do everything and succeed? Of course not. There's things that you can do that you're never going to do. I'm not going to go back and ever play football again, right? And so there's lots of things you can't go do. But there's things you can do to make your life better. The key to me is always having a purpose and goal. I don't care if you're 20, I don't care if you're 30, 45, 60. Have goals set up. Now, in the case of finances, have financial goals set up. I always put financial goals on a card. I will make $1 million by June of 2025, for example. What does that do? Well, it gives you kind of tunnel vision and saying, okay, this is what I'm going to look to do. Then you could put a plan together, and you can say, what steps do I need to take to do that? Do I need more education, more training? Do I need to learn investments? Do I need to learn how to do this? Real estate, whatever it might be that you're going to get into, this is what I would do next. And at that point, then you're looking at saying, okay, I'm focusing on this goal. Whenever I see an opportunity to accomplish things to get to that goal, I'm going to do that. What does that do when it comes to all that idea of releasing and all things like that? Well, it gives you tunnel vision, which is where a lot of people have. Now, some people may think some of the people who have money, billionaires, things like that, they're rude and obnoxious, and they could be, sometimes, there's no doubt about that. But the biggest thing is that they're focused. They're focused because they know they have this goal in mind. Their goal is to make money, and they're not going to let other people stop them in doing that. Now, obviously, life is a balance, and so money is not everything, and so you need to kind of realize that as well. They have a balance of goals of things other in life. But where it comes to retention, the biggest thing that's important is to get your mind off of temptation. And once you get mind off of temptation, now you're focusing your energy and all that energy you have onto that goal. And that goal is to make money. Obviously, then, you can make money in many ways, right? You could work like I have 8 different sources of revenue. One of the things I always recommend is that people have several sources of income, because if one dries up because of one thing or another, you always have other ones that you can kind of fall back on. The same thing with investing. Always make sure that you're investing in several different things so that you always have things. And so you're not going to necessarily worry about things because you have some things to fall back on. Always have other options. We talk about that in a dating pool for some of you younger guys. It also applies to things like finances and things like that. And then when you get to the point when you're sitting there and saying, okay, now I want to do something with the money, whether I'm making income, well, then you can look and get some education on investing, learning the stock market, looking at commodities, gold, Bitcoin, crypto. All these things are things to learn about and kind of look at how you're going to invest. And then certainly I think, real estate is another thing that some people, depending on how you like working with people and buying buildings and fixing those things up or refurnishing or rehabbing them, those are lots of opportunities out there for you to make more money. And the biggest thing, once again, is two things. One is to identify the goals you have. And the second thing is don't ever doubt yourself and doubt God's ability to give you abundance. And abundance will come as you pray on things, as you meditate on things, and ideas will come to you. right? Besides the stuff that I do in teaching, I do a lot of presentations and I do consulting work. I do a lot of different types of things that allow me to have some flexibility contractually on things that I do. And I like doing that kind of stuff because I like to help people and I like to give messages like I do here. And I give messages in other types of aspects in communication, psychology, and different types of things like that. Because it's something that I think is important to help people. And I'm at the stage of my life where I want to give back and help people. So this is kind of why I do this type of stuff. Obviously, you could make a lot of money on this kind of stuff as well. And at this point, I'm not. I may do some sponsorship and things in the future. But at this point, I'm not doing that because, I want to make sure we get the message out pretty simply and try to get people to understand where we are and the need in the society to change the things that have been going on especially the last 20 years. So as we look at this idea here, the idea is to set yourself up in a position where you have goals, you have ideas of what you want to do, and you realize that you're focusing now on yourself. And obviously then you're not going to bother with any temptations like women on daily basis. Those are not that important to you. And the same thing when it comes to images and books and things like that. Will there be times you're still going to have temptation? Of course, we all do. Even in monk mode, there's times I have to battle that myself. And sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. And so I start again with the monk mode, just thinking about this, right? The thing is, what you have to do is continue to focus on yourself. The more you're focusing on achieving your goals and whatever that main purpose God has for you. In my case, I think God's purpose for me has been to help younger people, to help them any way I can and knowledge that I've accumulated over the years, and being able to help people become better in their situation so then they can help other people down the line make better too. I've done that with my kids. I've done that with, people in general over the years, the last 40 years of teaching and things like that in different types of subjects and things, whether it's Fountain of Youth, whether it's teaching in the classroom, whether it's tutoring, whether it's consulting. All these things are things that I think God has a purpose for me. And the abundance has never been a huge problem. But I'm not a person who has a love of money. And so I basically kind of use money in ways, tools to help people and get things accomplished and things like that. I think you have to have a healthy view of money as well. You can't just love money at the expense of everything else. Money's not going to give you the happiness by itself, but money is going to help you achieve things that if you appreciate in the right way and you're giving thanks for God and being grateful, you're going to have all you need. And I think that's the key thing. And God will never, in my opinion, if you have faith, God will never leave you without situations to make through things you do. Will it be always easy? No, of course not. There's always going to be ups and downs, hills and valleys in your life. But I think the biggest part of this is being able to understand that you're here for God's purposes. So if you understand and align with your Creator's purposes, now you have to set those type of goals and try to figure out how to accomplish that. And I think certainly putting goals up to better yourself, whether it's physically, spiritually, mentally, financially, all those things are important. But in the long run, it really comes down to what is your alignment with your Creator, and are you in line? And I think that's the key type of thing with it. So anyway, I think as we talk about money, the biggest thing to kind of look at is your attitude about money. Are you using it as a tool? Do you think of lack of money all the time? Thinking of lack is not a good thing. It's almost like creating a lack in your whole mindset. And that eventually is going to lead you to behaviors that are going to create lack. You're going to overspend, or you're getting to the point where you can't save any money and you're spending money on things you don't need. And I think, again, as you look at things, you should look at things as investments. I do that all the time. Whether I have a comic book collection I've had for many years, whether I have a train collection with engines and buildings that you could later sell if you needed to, you can always make an increase on things. And those are the types of investments, things that you buy, like, for instance, a car, a brand new car, depreciates once it goes off the lot. Is actually an investment? Well, it depends on how you look at it, right? If you fix up the car, you might be able to, eventually sell it at some point. But obviously we know it's not going to be the same price as the car that you bought. So you want to get things an increase in value. And a lot of time collections and things are like that. The same thing with real estate. If you put money into buildings, of course, they're going to go up in value and things like that. So it always comes back down to getting enough education to understand how to make money. But again, don't let money become your evil, your God, your God. The money is not, and money's just a tool. God will give you money whenever you need money, if you're truly following with God's purposes and things like that. And of course, I think a lot of times people think money's going to give them happiness, and that couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, most times people are happy more times they're happy when they don't have a lot of money to worry about, because people who, like, for example, people who win the lottery, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a lot of people who end up going broke. And you think to yourself, well, if they're getting paid part of the money each time, how are they going broke? Well, they spend. They get people coming out of woodwork, or relatives, or people who now want to use, money and things like that. And all of a sudden now they have a lot of other friends who are using it. I remember doing work for a heavyweight boxer who was actually champion at one point, and he was doing stuff, and he didn't really have any kind of knowledge of money or education. And so this was back in the 70s, and he actually had beaten Muhammad Ali. And so he wasn't a champion very long, but he was a champion. And but he got into a lot of problems. Didn't know how his manager took him for a lot of money and things like that, and it was a huge situation there. So I think that when you're talking about these type of things, it's not easy to handle money. And a lot of boxers and a lot of people who are good at sports a lot of times don't get that kind of education. So the thing is that when you're looking at this, it's important to knowledge and know that it's important to be able to say, okay, money is not the happiness. I need a certain amount of money to live, and that's great. But also to know that I've got to focus on myself and how am I going to get that money and develop money. So, all right, my friends. Well, anyway, great topic, and I appreciate you guys. I had several people, and I'll highlight those people more as we go along, but a lot of people who wanted to talk about other things, and so money is one of them. I'll go back to things like confidence level, and this is a topic that Sultan Job had about envious people bringing you down. We'll talk about smoking and semen retention as well, coming up pretty soon. But I want to kind of look at several of these type of things. The masculine male and semen retention is another good one we'll kind of focus on in the coming weeks. I'll try to do one probably this weekend if I can get it done. If not, early next week. We'll see. I'm going to try to do more and more. Like I said, once I get the computer, I can at least do more and be in a place where I can do it. And not always focusing on, cars and phones and things like that. All right, so guys, have a great evening. Like I said, I always leave you with two things. I know we continue the battle here, so I know some people don't like me screaming, but I'm going to continue doing it until we can get this situation better in our world as far as, controlling temptation and be able to have some self-control. So two things I always leave with. Today, as usual, is a great day, and I always say a great day. Every day is a great day to a great new warrior. I know I didn't mess that up, but that's, close enough. And you also know that every time we deal with the devil, Satan, we know that it's going to be temptation around the corner. And so this is a continual battle. We have to fight. We have the armor. We have the armor. We have the head plate, and the breastplate we have the sword, all those things, because we have to continue to battle on! All right, my friends, have a good evening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.